guys, Bullhorn Betty here. Listen, we're covering a lot of different cases right now. We're covering the West Boys. I just dropped a video related to the West Boys, but I have been covering the Idaho 4 since almost the beginning of the case, carrying out 2 trips out to Idaho for weeks at a time that I have been freezing my tail off while collecting information related to this case. I am going through the docket. We touched on it a little bit this morning in the Coffee Club segment of the morning live from 6:30 to 8:30. We went over a few of these things, and I promised you that I would actually be breaking down these sealed and redacted documents. This is the one from Amazon.com. I hope you guys enjoy it. It might put a little clarity back into our thoughts and our minds as we go through this entire process with Bryan Kohberger, but it sounds like he ordered his K-bar knife and the leather sheath directly from Amazon.com. Check this out. Guys, so this is the docket for Bryan Kohberger in the state of Idaho, and we're going to be focusing on the court orders to seal and redact information. And we're going to start right here at order to seal and redact Amazon. So here is the order to seal and redact. In this matter came before the court February 10th, 2023. So that means the evidence was arriving at the beginning of February, which was right about a month ago. On the court's motion to seal and redact pursuant to ICAR 32I, the hearing is held via Zoom with William W. Thompson, Ashley Jennings, and Ashley Jennings on behalf of the state, and then Ann Taylor appearing on behalf of Bryan Kohberger. The court reviewed the records, considered the arguments presented, weighed the interest in privacy and public disclosure, and announced its finding of fact on the record. Therefore, the court finds it necessary to seal. So this is the court order to seal that Amazon document, but there was a warrant related to the document. Based on the motion to seal warrant and related documents filed herein, the court does hereby confirm and order that the affidavit of search warrant, including any exhibit, search warrant, return of search warrant, including inventory of items seized, and orders are confidential, exempt from disclosure, and are sealed pursuant to the Idaho Administrative Rule 32G1 for the reasons stated in the said motion until March 14th, 2023, which appears to be on Tuesday of this week. They will be releasing this motion and for public consumption, I would presume. The motion to seal the search warrant and related documents. The state of Idaho, by and through Latah County Prosecuting Attorney, respectfully moves the court pursuant to Idaho Administrative Rule 32G1 and Idaho Code 74-124 for an order setting search warrant and related documents, including the affidavit for search warrant, including any exhibits, search warrant, return of search warrant, include the inventory of items seized, an order filed herein become release or disclosure would 1. Interfere with enforcement proceedings, 2. Constitute unwarranted invasion of personal privacy, disclosure of identity of confidential source, and disclosure investigative techniques and procedures. And the state seeks this protection for a minimum of 90 days or until such time the investigation is concluded and or charges are filed. My understanding is there's charges filed against him. So does that mean that this is a moot point? That's up for clarification. But according to the order, it looks like February 14th is the magic number for these. The return of the search warrant. Detective Lawrence Morey, the officers by whom this warrant was executed, do certify the appended inventory contains a true and detailed account of all property taken by me or other officers pursuant to this warrant, and this warrant and property have been duly returned before Judge Megan E. Marshall at 9 o'clock on the 14th of December, 2022. And this peace officer, identified as Lawrence Mallory, certifies under penalty of perjury to the laws, the state of Idaho, that the foregoing is true and correct. So the affidavit of Lawrence Mallory is duly sworn, do hereby state the following information is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. I am an employee of the Mascow Police Department in the official position of forensic detective. Affidavit has been a trained and qualified peace officer. Affiant has been, it should say affiant, but it says affidavit. So it should be affiant. Affiant has been trained and qualified peace officer for 12 years. On November 26, 2022, I obtained a search warrant for Amazon. The search warrant was served on November 26 by email, fax, etc. On December 8, 2022, I received an email from Amazon which contained the requested information. An inventory was prepared for all the items received, and the information received was placed into evidence at the Mascow Police Department. And again, he declares under penalty of perjury that that information is true and correct. The receipt and inventory of warrant. On the 26th day of November 2022 at approximately 3:32 p.m., the peace officer, Detective Lawrence Mallory, served the search warrant heretofore issued upon the place and or persons described therein as directed in said search warrant. Entrance was obtained by https://ler.amazon.com/us. The persons found in said place were, that is blank. The description of property is ASIN number B001H53Q6M, K-bar full-size U.S. Marine Corps fighting knife. So it appears that it is possible that he ordered his K-bar knife online. That's what it appears here. Description of property: leather sheath, U.S. Marine Corps logo. So they're giving the description of the property, and they're saying it's ASIN number B001H53Q6M. This is related to the full-size U.S. Marine Corps fighting knife, the K-bar knife. Again, there's also an ASN number B000MAZIA0, K-bar, and it gives a number next to it, 1217S. And then a leather sheath and U.S. Marine Corps logo. And so the peace officer signed that. It was not witnessed to. So here is the order. In the above titled manner, the court having heretofore issued a search warrant, and said search warrant have been served according to law, and the return of warrant having been duly made as directed in said search warrant to this court, and an inventory of found items seized have been duly made and taken before the undersigned magistrate or judge and filed herein. Now, therefore, it is hereby ordered that said peace officer shall deliver or cause to be delivered the property described in the inventory to the Mascow Police Department or such other law enforcement agency as may be appropriate for the purpose of preserving said property for use as evidence or until further order of the court of competent jurisdiction. Once any related criminal case has been concluded, including the expiration of time for appeal or at such other appropriate time the property can be released and disposed upon authorization of the judicial prosecuting attorney. It is further ordered that said property of any part thereof may be delivered to any person or laboratory or laboratories for the purpose of conducting or obtaining any test, analysis, or identification of property which is deemed necessary by custodial law enforcement agencies or jurisdictional prosecuting attorney for further order of this court. Guys, it does sound, I'm not going to go through too much more of this, but I am going to roll through here so you guys can see what's in here. Amended search warrant. Let's read what this is. So the amended search warrant, Lawrence Mowry, having given me proof upon oath this day showing probable cause establishing grounds for issuing a search warrant and probable cause to believe that property referenced to and sought in or upon said premises consist of information for the crime of homicide in possession or control of Amazon related to the sale of the following items for the period of January 1st, 2022 to the present. And they listed both of these items on here, which they're looking for the K-Bar full-size U.S. Marine Corps fighting knife, as well as the K-Bar leather sheath with the U.S. Marine Corps logo on it. And it further says the record shall include, but not limited to, count information for the above named individual entities on Amazon.com or affiliated websites, including, but not limited to, contact information, billing information, account open date, account closing date, and any other information retained in connection with the identified account. Order detail and purchase history for all transactions conducted by the above named individual on Amazon.com or any Amazon.com affiliated storefront, web store, including IP address information for purchases made. Payment information for payments made or facilitated by Amazon.com to or from the above named individual entity, including payments through the Amazon Payment and Amazon Pay platform. All customer interaction records between Amazon.com and the above named individual entities and their respective representatives to include call notes, call recordings, emails, and or written correspondence. And that was issued upon Amazon Corporate Services at 300 Deschutes Way, Southwest, Suite 304, and that's in Turnwater, Washington. So it goes through the instructions for the stored records as to what they want, and it was signed by Magistrate Judge Megan Marshall on the 26th of November, and the order for execution or extension to return search warrant was also issued by Megan for the return of this by March 8th, and it was delivered to whom it needs to be delivered to. And here was the motion for the extension, which we just saw the order, and it was coming from the prosecuting attorney for that information. So there is just one of the search warrants issued to Amazon.com, and again, it was related to the knife. Do they know with specificity that Brian Kohberger actually ordered his K-Bar knife through Amazon? Let me know your thoughts. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Bullhorn Betty channel. And until next time, you all, please be safe and be careful for those K-Bar knives and crazy people that hold them. Don't forget, as I just stated at the end of that video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is great information, folks. You're going to want to stay here on the Bullhorn Betty channel as we discuss the Idaho 4. We are breaking this stuff down, so don't go nowhere. And until next time, like I said before, you all be safe.